I've been a full-time sports card reseller for 2 full years now. I've learned some things along the way. I'm still continuing to learn, but I think, in my opinion, here are the 7 best lessons I've learned so far. I want to make this video today because, one, it's been 2 years, a very clean number, and two, I kind of feel like I'm at like a really good stride in my business as far as how I'm selling, what I'm selling, and looking forward to work every day. So, quick breakdown. Number one, the dream job is still a job. Sports cards were what I've always wanted to do. Literally, if it wasn't professionally playing baseball, it's been selling sports cards. So I finally made the jump 2 years ago, dove in, and I started selling inventory that I had on hand. I kind of took it a little for granted that I had more than I did, and also that I could just like list a few cards during the day or in the morning, golf during the day, and then ship at night. And that did work for 4 or 5 months until all of a sudden I had sold through all of my good inventory. So what was already in-house was gone. My sales were starting to dip, and I started to panic a little bit, which led me to card shows, which was a good thing when all is said and done, because that was lesson number two. Card shows are way better than I expected as a buyer. I was under the impression that vendors were always going to have their stuff priced properly. And for me, that was like, it was kind of like a daunting task to go to a card show and try and find deals. But when I put it in perspective of the vendors are bringing, let's call it 1,000 baseball cards to a show, the idea that they could price every single one properly is kind of insane to think about. So there's always going to be value to be found. Maybe not at every table. Maybe there are some sellers that just overprice everything and then hope for offers, which that does happen. Or there are people that don't price anything and they just look it up. You learn to like avoid some of those, or really just make offers that are good for you, and if they don't accept them, just move on. So there is still some downside. It's not a perfect system, but it's so fundamentally better as a buyer than I ever expected. So that was something that at first I thought was a never going to be a thing for me. I thought, card shows, that's like a cesspool of people. Couldn't be more wrong. So card shows opened up a really good avenue for me, but they also brought some negatives. Lesson number three: what I like versus what the market likes, not the same thing. Early on, I kind of focused on simply dollar boxes or value boxes of similar type, both higher and lower. And I would search for things that I knew were valuable, or I should say rare. So like image variation, short prints, golden mirrors, because I started in 2023. Golden mirrors were still new, and I could find those in dollar boxes. And when I did, I was usually pretty successful reselling them. However, I fell into the trap of, instead of buying all the golden mirrors I see for $1, I bought all the golden mirrors I saw. And that works on a couple of cards here and there, but overall that was a bad strategy. But I just got so locked into rare versus valuable, and it was a bad thing. So I still fall into this trap. I do it with golden mirrors. The team color borders from Topps are another one. Those kind of sat around $10. It didn't matter the player, but then there was more and more available. They didn't make them for updates, so the popularity dropped overall. But I kept buying them, thinking they were $10 cards, and the next thing I know, my eBay store has 40 of them unsold at $10 to $12 or $15, and I just sunk money into a card that the general public didn't want. I thought it was good. Not a great idea. It wasn't only those. I did it with Ginter Minis from the extended set from Rip Cards. Those are absolutely perfect if you find them in value boxes and you know what to look for. But if you buy all of them at market value and then try and list them at market value or above to try and make some margin, it is a bad strategy overall. So I did that pretty poorly. I bought a lot of stuff that I wouldn't buy today. I bought a lot of stuff that I had to list for 50% over market that I probably still have from 2 months or 2 years ago. So that was something I still am working on. I'm still learning, but I've definitely changed more towards what's liquid, who's popular versus what I like or what I think is a good deal. There are players that I buy now that I wouldn't buy if they didn't sell so well. Specifically, Pete Crow Armstrong. His cards sell extremely well. He has had moments of like a breakout. However, I don't think his swing or his decision making will last at the plate. I don't think he's a very good hitter overall. But if I find his cards for a good deal, I got to buy him. I got to make a move. So that's one thing I really, really can't stress enough: liquidity. I know that's not what how I phrased that, but that was the more important thing. Don't focus on what's rare, focus on what's valuable. And in that same breath, if you make good buys, they're only good buys if you do the work. It is January 8th, 2025, 2026, wrong. And I still have cards that are unsorted sitting in my office from 2 years ago. So you can buy cards and get a great deal, but they are not good buys until you list those cards and they sell. So I have to continue to do the work. Like I said before, it's a dream job, but it's still a job. I have to get that work done. I have to get the cards listed. I have to sort them. And you can't just keep buying. It doesn't matter how good the deal is. If you don't do the work and sell the cards, you're just left with a box of unsorted cards that could have been better buys. Terrible, terrible choices sometimes. Lesson number 5, following matters more than platform. I was under the impression when I first started, and up until probably 6 months ago, that eBay was king. Nothing else mattered. COMC was great for like passive selling and buying, but eBay was the only traffic that mattered. And these bigger companies made moves, and I just ignored them or didn't really take into account what they were doing. If you look at Burbank, they moved all of their inventory off of eBay. They had over 1 million cards. I think it was like 3 million. To me, that seemed like, oh, that's such a bad move. They moved to the Fanatics Live platform. I bet Fanatics was paying them, and that may have been true. There may have been some deal that made it a great move for Fanatics and Burbank. But in the end, they have the following. They have customers. They have people that are looking for them. So even if they move from eBay to the Fanatics platform, their customers are going to follow them. I kind of ignored that when it happened. I thought, great, they're off the platform, less competition for me. But in the end, then we get Probstein, who moved from eBay to Snipe. Massive failure, but he's back on eBay. But even I think that was like the number one thing that happened. When he moved, I knew how much inventory he moved and how much traffic he had, but it immediately told me the platform doesn't matter anymore. It's about where the eyes are. Your people that follow you, they will find you on your platforms. So that kind of transitioned me into trying to sell on Whatnot, trying to grow my following, bringing me back to social media. I mean, this is 3 months of me like diving back into YouTube, Instagram, X, a little bit of Facebook. I just made a Facebook deal before I recorded this video, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's about the following. The platforms, sure, they're good and bad about different platforms. You should explore them. You should do what fits your schedule best. But for me personally, I wasn't giving anything a chance. I still haven't tried other ones that I think are probably pretty good, like a District. I think District is a good opportunity. I still haven't done it. I think the Collects app is a good opportunity. Still haven't done it. So I think the platform doesn't matter. You have to work hard. You have to have a pretty good following. Customers will find you. Sell good cards at good prices. Lesson number 6. I don't even know if I want to call this a lesson. It's just a fact. And that's, I really love doing this. I've been selling cards my whole life. I remember setting up at a flea market with my grandma. That's how I got started, was Jamie's Flea Market in Amherst, Ohio. If you know, you know. And the passion has never really left me. I sold cards when I was in high school, sold cards when I was in college, when I was out of college, and still today. So 30 years of doing this. I still love it. I still love opening cards. It's while it is like my job, ripping open a pack has not lost its lure to me. I love it. I enjoy flipping through the cards. There are some days where I open faster than others, but the reality of the situation is I love doing this. I thought transitioning from a hobby to a full-time job would kind of make me dislike it a little bit. It would feel like there's a lot of pressure on everything that I do, and it's the exact opposite. I feel more excited about opening cards, about learning about cards, about the players, about the games themselves. The World Baseball Classic is coming up, and I absolutely cannot wait. So the fact that the passion is still here and potentially growing, in my opinion, and the desire to create content is still here, man, it feels good. I really, truly love doing this. And then lesson number 7, I'm doing it right now. Done is better than perfect. I thought I would sit down and film this video and break it down and do like segments and try and clip it all together. Forget that. I want you to hear what I have to say. Let's get it out there. I don't need to, make my background fancy. That's literally a cardboard stand-up that I use as my background for when I'm on Whatnot. My hands are on the thing, and that's my background. It's what I do breaks on. It literally, it's so simple. Just get it done. Get the information out there. If people are worried about your editing, your boxes in the background, your shipping labels, then that's a them problem. I want to get the information I want to share with you guys. And these 7 lessons, as I'm calling them, they're not, written in stone. They're not the end all be all. They're just things that I did not know, that I did not use, that I did not focus on, that have really kind of changed my mindset in the last few months. And I think it can help someone else. That's what the whole point of me making this, the whole point of this video, the whole point of me making content is just to try and help you guys and share this community. So I appreciate you guys watching this. This is one of those things where I have thought about making this video for probably 16 months. I thought about making it last year, thought about making it this year, and right now feels like a good time. I feel like my energy is high. I feel like I have good things to say. I'm not perfect. I'm going to continue to learn. I hope that's the case. I need to continue to learn, adapt or die. It's that simple. But if you guys, enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate the follow, maybe a subscription, whatever it might be. Hit the buttons, the thing. I appreciate every single one of you. We'll see you next time.